What's up, man?
Relay, I'm overlapping relay. I double back and replay. It's not a game, no EA. I'm global trapping eBay. I make it look so easy. You'll never touch a cement. I double profits each way. Relay.
What's going on, likers, subscribers, and everyday vibers? It's your boy T-Rev. So today we're going to be doing the 5K maintenance on a 2019 Iron 883. The first thing we need to do, of course, is drain out the oil. So the oil bung for 2019 model is going to be here towards the rear. What we're going to do is we're just going to grab this clamp off. Boom. And free up this oil line. Let it hang down here. Flathead to get this little clamp off of here. It's going to be a pretty quick video. Make sure your oil line is hanging over what you have it actually going into. To get the oil to drain as easy as possible, pop your oil cap up and you're gonna twist it out. So once you twist this cap out, it allows air to flow freely through. Once you open that, it's pretty much gonna open like a vacuum. And then I just finished riding my bike, but it is also suggested to run your motor for a little bit to make sure your oil is nice and warm. But you want to make sure that your oil is nice and warm, because when it's cold, your oil is actually like kind of thick, right? So once your engine heats up and the oil is running through everything, it gets a lot thinner lubricant and not as thick as the actual oil when it's cold. So make sure you run your bike so that it drains as quickly as possible. It should take about 30 minutes for it to completely drain, but it does not take long. So oil line directed towards where you're going to drain the oil to. Pull out the oil bung. Bam. And there we go. Oh, so all that white stuff, what that actually is water that got into the oil. Do not start your bike with no oil in it. That should kind of go without saying. Alright guys, so the 5K service is not only an oil change. You're going to do a lot of inspections as well. You're going to inspect your clutch, your brakes, your throttle, your belts, your tires. It's pretty much an overall inspection of the bikes. You're going to check your brake fluids, all that good stuff. You need to make sure that your bike is in good running performance. So while I'm waiting on the oil to drain, it's honestly almost where I need it to be at, but I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna run through everything else so that when I'm done with my inspection and everything that I need to check on my bike, the only thing I'll have to do is replace the oil filter and replace the oil in the actual bike, and then I'll be good to go. Everything else looks pretty good. The only thing that I have noticed over pretty much right after I installed the fairing is my throttle has been sticking a little bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and let's make sure we're loosening it. Pop this mirror off real quick because I'm going to adjust my throttle cables. But clutch is good, brakes are good, the tension on my belt's good. Just so you guys know, when you actually do your check the tension on your belt, you have to take this panel off. So when you take that panel off, there's a little opening that you can see into, and your belt is supposed to be tight enough that it shouldn't move over ½ an inch. So it's very important that you make sure that the tension on your belt is good so that your bike is running as smoothly and as quickly as possible. But once you take this panel off, you can actually see the full belt inside there, and then you can test it. Pretty much just, you're supposed to put 10 pounds of pressure on it. Honestly, I just pushed my hand down on the belt and make sure that it didn't go over ½ an inch, but the belt is still pretty tight from when I got it. So that's good to go. But I'm gonna mess with this for a little bit and then we'll get back to it. All right, y'all, don't look at Daisy without her wig on, but I was over here doing the clutch adjustment, and I thought that it was my fairing that was messing with my clutch cables, so I took it off. Turns out it wasn't. This right here, I'm guessing it's some type of tensioner that actually puts tension on your throttle. Okay, so your throttle cable, if it is snapping or not snapping back forward to the idle position, then all you have to do is loosen the tension on this little thing right here, and you'll notice the more you actually twist it to the right, the tighter it gets, and then you get this, and it does not snap back. So loosen the tension on that a little bit, and you get that full snap reset. Just a little tip for you guys. But now everything's pretty much done. I'm gonna install this fairing real quick now that my cables are set. I'm gonna put the lock nuts, tighten the lock nuts up real quick so that these are good to go, put the covers over, and then once my fairing's on, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the switching process for the oil. Put this oil bung back in. Boop. Now I'm not going to clamp it yet, because what I'm going to end up doing is I'm actually going to fill it with oil, and then once I fill it with oil, I'm going to pop this open, let some of the oil drain out so that it's all the way filtered through the system, and then I will put the oil bung back in, and then I'll place the clamp back on there. Now to change this out, I was gonna go black, but I just got that Two Brothers Racing Comp S1 exhaust, so I figured I might as well put a little bit more chrome on my bike. Now this can honestly get a little messy, so how should I do this? I'll put it in there like this. To catch any of that residual oil that is gonna come out when I twist this bad boy off. Gonna move this over here. Try and make this into like a little funnel so they go straight down. All right, so Harley does sell cups to actually take these off, but honestly it should be pretty easy to take off because it only recommends to hand tighten your oil filter on. So if you guys over here torquing the shit out of it, you're doing it wrong. It says to hand tighten. I got some channel locks here. Let all that oil just run out though. And then once you get a good amount of the oil off, you can honestly just wipe everything down, and then you're gonna go forward with the install of your new one. Wipe it off. I'm gonna put that towel right there just in case any more decides to leak out. When we are installing the new, get that off there, oil filter. By the way guys, using 20 WD-50. So what you're gonna do, gonna get a little bit of this and coat your new filter, just enough. You don't have to fill up the entire filter. Bike will do that itself. But get a nice little coat on there. Boom. So we got the new oil filter on. We are going to go forward with the rest of the oil change. We'll put this right back under the oil tube. Still have my bung in because I'm going to start pouring in this new oil. Now the Sportsters take about 2.8 quarts of oil. Pull out this bung again, and you're gonna notice it takes a little bit of time for the oil to actually get there. That's getting rid of that air pocket that we were talking about. See all that bad oil. And we're gonna go ahead and top her off. Can't hurt. We're gonna put this fastener back on. Yeah, man, so I took my my bike to Harley to get this service done because I thought that honestly I would be voiding my warranty if I didn't get it done through them. And then I talked to a couple people in the store, and they said the only one you have to have done by Harley is your 1K and your 25. Every other oil change, all the services you can actually do by yourself. Harley was charging me $290 plus tax to change my oil and do inspections. Now, inspections, I honestly believe the person that's riding their bike, like if I'm doing an inspection on my bike, I'll do it a lot more thorough than somebody else who does it. But inspections are pretty much just looking at something and making sure that it's good. So I would much rather look at it and make sure it's good than somebody who may be having an off day and really not care, you know. So save myself about 200 and not even 60, about 250 bucks. I bought the oil filter, and that's really it. So I saved myself a lot of money actually. There we go. So now that's done. Oil filter's on, oil is changed, and guys, that is how to do your 5K service. I didn't show a lot of the small things like inspecting your brakes, your clutch. I did adjust my clutch though, clutch adjustment. It's all in personal preference. Make sure that your throttle is not locking back, things of that sort. Tire inspections, your brake inspections. They also have the tension tests for your belts. You're gonna go through and feel every single groove. I had actually, since I don't have a jack, I had to move my bike forward slowly and slowly and slowly and look at every notch on my belt and make sure there weren't any tears or any possible breaks. You also want to check your spark plugs. God damn it, got them bitches down pretty good. But you want to check your spark plugs, make sure that they are good to go. There's a lot of things that you check. Make sure that you are looking at your Sportster service manual. You can honestly pull it up online. It's not too hard to find, and just make sure that you are doing everything that you need to ensure that you're riding safe. But that's the 5K service, guys. Until the next time, you guys ride safe. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.